Okay, so I'm playing Tier 9 Conqueror here, one of the new British tanks. It's the Tier 9 Heavy of the British line. Unlike a lot of, that was funny, Tier 3 already in a Tier 10 match, but unlike a lot of heavy tanks, it does not rely on its armor at all. The frontal armor is only 130 millimeters thick on the upper plate, and it's angled, I think it's like 45 or 50 degrees. It's not 60 degrees like the Tier 10, which doesn't really give you much protection. Like Tier 7s may bounce off you, maybe a couple Tier 8s if they're not in their lead form, but you don't want to rely on the armor whatsoever. It's like even angling, once you start angling, you do gain a lot of armor on the front due to the compound angles, but your side armor gets opened up. And most people are like, oh, I had space armor. Space armor eats a lot of shells, but space armor on a lot of these British tanks, while it looks nice, it's only 8 millimeters thick. Both the top part and the bottom part here are only 8 millimeters, which doesn't really do much against AP shells. It helps a little bit against heat, and it helps a little bit against RD splash, but overall it does not help that greatly in one-on-one fights. Like, the other plus of this tank is it does a lot of damage for a Tier 9 tank. You see my other videos, I compared it to the T110, which has an 8.25 second reload on, at least for my T110 crew. This has no brothers in arms, but it's 100% crew. Holy shit, where? It's 100% crew, has vents and a rammer, which gives it this. Once you get brothers in arms, it'll drop it down a little bit more. Hopefully I can get him. He got away. So now that they changed this, there's not many spots to hide from Artie. I don't want to push too far up because that M103 there. So he hit my viewport. That top, that thing that he gets shot, the commander's hatch, it's pretty weak. But on the plus side, there's 3 little things, the viewports sitting up there, they soak up a lot of hits because they don't take HP damage. But a negative, if they hit any other area that's not a viewport on that, basically knocks out your commander, does HP damage, and you're pretty boned. Do not want to push down there, luring. I'm gonna go up here. There's another one. Where the hell is most of our team? Looks pretty light. At least we have TD there to help. I wonder if that bad chat's gonna try to come up again. There's T62A. Dude, what the f— stop fucking pushing me. You're not gonna bounce any shells from this spot. See, that's one thing that most people ignore, but really wanna look where you're driving. So when you bump into people, your teammates, it knocks their aim off. No damage, but sometimes tracking is the best option. Easier shot. Back check. I got some HP, I can soak up a hit or two.
Our ammunition rack is hit.
Shit.
They're hit.
Here goes my HP. Come on, reload.
Enemy is hit.
we held him off long enough. Then I had a little bit more reverse speed. That's one of the negatives about the. That was pretty stupid with that chat, but one of the negatives of the Tier 9, Tier 10 British Heavies is the reverse speed. It's not very fast. It's like 11 or 12 kilometers an hour in reverse, which is pretty bad. Especially since their mobility is pretty good while accelerating. You get up the top speed pretty quickly. But moving backwards is not very pleasant, especially when you're trying to escape like I was. Trying to get back to my tank here. It's like the turret, both the Tier 9 and Tier 10 share the same turret. You can see the mantlet there. It's pretty well protected. It's 200mm thick. I haven't really seen what's behind it armor-wise, but I haven't been damaged getting shot in the mantlet. The cheeks there, though, that show in the frontally, they're 152mm thick, and they're pretty well sloped there, which does protect you against a lot of stuff. But if you get hit by like a Tier 10 tank, and they just shoot you there without hitting the very sides of it, they'll pretty much go through every single time. What else? And the tier 9 Conqueror, it's pretty good. I like it better than any of the Tier 9 tanks I've played. I usually don't play Tier 9, but the Conqueror, with its ability to do damage, you actually make a profit most matches because you're outputting a lot of damage. And with the 2k HP roughly, you can survive even against Tier 10 tanks. And people roughly underestimate you because you're nearly doing as much damage as a T110E5 in a Tier 9 tank. Think about it. You might not have any armor, but you have 2,000 hit points, and you have a gun that does 400 damage with an 8.8 reload roughly. That's without brothers in arms. So you'll definitely put a hurting on anything that's in front of you. It's like it definitely has a high learning curve because you kind of have to play like a medium tank. In the sense that you can't rely on your armor. It's like the turret will help a little bit, but overall, you don't really want to rely on your armor, but you also want to try to act like a heavy tank. Because if you don't play like a heavy somewhat, your team's going to be lacking in that area. Hopefully these guys finish up pretty quickly. That AMXB took off. Yeah, there he is, he came back. Props to him for not suiciding into a border like a lot of people do. There you go. So overall, pretty good game. I only got one kill myself, but I got 1400 experience, which is a little bit under 900 base experience. Did 3000 damage, which is pretty damn good. Hit 8 out of 8 shots, penetrated 8 times. So overall, a pretty good match, and we won. May have got rolled over in the end, but pretty good myself.